In this episode of Comic Book Savant, we're going to be doing a review on Voltron Legendary Defender Season 8, which is the final season of this series. Welcome back to Comic Book Savant. I'm your host, James Harris. This episode is going to be my final review of Voltron the Legendary Defender. We finally got the 8th and final season of the series coming on Netflix. I've been doing reviews on all the previous seasons. It's a playlist that I will have here or link down in the description box to the other reviews that I've done on the previous seasons. I have to say it was definitely a bittersweet journey we've taken. Again, I talk about it a lot. I grew up in the 80s, so when Voltron originally, the 1984 Voltron hit, it was such a huge thing in my childhood. I loved the Lions of Voltron. It was a thing for a good couple of years before it kind of fizzled out. So it was good to see such a thing that was a big influence in my childhood, like brought back by the team that did Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. They have a good pedigree behind them. I knew they were going to put a lot of love and respect into the series, which Laura Montgomery and Joaquin de Santos really have. They have killed it. This has been such a good series from beginning to end. I really hate to see it go because it really just hit that sweet spot, for me, with that nostalgia, with what they made it their own, but always paying homage to what came before and including it in very inventive in different ways. Was this my overall favorite season of the series? It's up there. It's probably in my top 3 far as overall season. I've talked about it in previous seasons before. I think the balance was there. It was great storytelling. They did a great job in resolving storylines that we had from the very beginning of the series that might have been dangling along the way. They resolved all the plot lines they kind of ever introduced throughout the series as these previous seasons have been going on, but they made sure by the time the series ended that all those were taken care of in one way or another. Like certain plot lines that I didn't even think that was that important, they reintroduced those characters and resolved them in some shape, form, or fashion, which was really great. The only negative I can really say at all about the season, and it's about the series just in general, and it's a staple kind of the original series as well, that in certain fight sequences, it's the whole thing about getting knocked down and getting back up. And I feel like certain parts and certain fight sequences ran very long, and it started becoming repetitive, seeing Voltron getting just beat down over and over again. And, I know, because granted, I understand that I and some of us that are a little older are not the target demographic for this, but it was something that I grew up on as a kid. It's for the younger kids now, just like I was a kid back then and I was a target. I'm not the target anymore. So they're trying to teach that lesson, but I kind of felt like it got heavy-handed with the fight sequences that seemed at certain points so drawn out, with them like, oh, we're getting beat down, we got to find a way to get ourselves back together and push through. I get it, determination, never give up, all that good stuff. That's great, but it just felt like super heavy-handed at certain points, which kind of took me out of the moment at times, and was like, okay, when are we going to get past this, back to the main story? Because it got very repetitive at points, but I understand why it was there. So again, it detracted for me, but again, those sequences were for the younger kids, and I understand that. But all in all, it was a good ending to the series. Again, I really hate seeing it go. I highly recommend it. For me, I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. Again, not my best. It's up there in the top 2 or 3 as far as the season. I think maybe season 2 or 3, where they did a lot of reveal on Zarkon and the history of the history leading up to how we got to the present day was like the best season. They did a really good job, but just overall, the series itself has just been phenomenal. I hate to see it go, but I'm inspired that the producers from this have signed on with Sony Pictures Animation, and they're going to be doing the new Spider-Verse movies. If you haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse yet, they've signed on they snatched him up immediately. So Laura Montgomery is going to be doing a Spider Women movie, and Joaquin is going to be doing, I think he's doing the Into the Spider-Verse sequel proper. That's what he signed on for, if I remember. They announced it right after that came out. This was already on the verge of coming out or just hit Netflix, and that announcement was made because Into the Spider-Verse was coming out. So that's a little, if you were unaware of that, that was a thing that happened. So we're still going to get great content. Like I said, their track record is pretty much impeccable at this point, from Avatar to Korra to this to now how great Into the Spider-Verse was, and to have them separately working on two different films within that world that they set up into the Spider-Verse. I'm so stoked on that. It's going to be quite a few years before that comes out, but I can't wait to see that. And that's all I really have to say about Voltron. It's a good series. You can go back now and watch all 8 seasons on Netflix. They're all there. They're 22-minute episodes for the most part. So it might take a long weekend maybe, to go through all the seasons. Yeah, but I mean, you can pretty much, I think you can, not in one sitting, but over a long weekend or maybe a week, breaking it up, you can knock out the whole series. It's really worthwhile. Then, if you haven't watched it, it's worth your time to check out. Again, I'll have links to the playlist to all the Voltron reviews down in the video description below. If you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button. Also, hit the thumbs up, smash the like button. Share the video if you think anyone would like to see this review. Share that out. Also, make sure you click on the bell notification down below. That will alert you when new content drops on the channel. I try to drop content Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you'll be alerted as soon as content drops on the channel. I'm James Harris. This is the Comic Book Savant YouTube channel. That's all I have for you for this video, and I will see you next time for a new video. Take care, and I'll see you soon.